Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy here, for nerds by nerds, hanging out with some of my crew.
I'm Ted.
I'm Nate.
So Melody Miller had requested that we do an unorthodox character build, the Trifling Barbarian.
I think they meant Tiefling.
Oh, yeah, the Tiefling Barbarian.
I'm looking through here and I can't find anything about a Trifling.
Right, it goes right to classes after Tiefling.
They be trifling.
So okay, can we make this barbarian build work, and can we make it good?
Well, I mean,
I know we can do at least half of those things.
We can definitely slap those two classes together quite easily.
You know, like the whole purpose of unorthodox builds is to put things together that don't have those advantages to prime stats. So
no problem there.
Intelligence, charisma, barbarians need those.
So we're gonna have an uber smart barbarian, and people, by golly, people are gonna let's throw everyone out through a loop here, and let's just put the highest two stats in intelligence and charisma.
No,
we can dump wisdom.
Dump wisdom. I can't have that.
It goes against your conscience.
So they still have to be good at something.
So you'd have
they
can be a really smart barbarian. They can have a 9.
Yeah,
because that's totally where my 8 would go.
Because it depends upon what of the mentals that are least important to you. Barbarian, unless you really want knowledge nature, then you're not really looking to use intelligence at all. So yeah, that makes
you never want to. You actually never want to dump wisdom as a barbarian.
Well, yes,
because if someone can snap you out of your rage, then you're not raging anymore, and that just sucks.
Yeah.
So we have two stats that we can dump with charisma and intelligence.
So we put your 8 in intelligence, bringing it up to a 9. You put your 10 in charisma, bringing it up to a 12. So now you have a barbarian with an actual.
You are one sexy barbarian. Let me tell you that. Like, this guy is never, I guess it could be a gal too, is never wearing a shirt, just showing off all that hot, sexy red flesh.
No, you're going to actually need to put stuff on because you're not getting plus the dex or con, so you're going to need that armor.
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
you're going to be a barbarian.
Yeah, so all right, so our Tiefling Barbarian, we're going to dump intelligence, we're going to dump charisma, which will make them not so bad. I mean, let's face it, intelligence is only one off from average, and your charisma is going to be a positive modifier.
Yeah.
One of the things I do like about these builds is a lot of times, like, you really don't end up with a dump stat per se. Mm-hmm. I mean, in this case, we will have a little bit of a dump into intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
But our other stats aren't going to be bad because I'm guessing we're going to go with our 2 highest stats in strength and con.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
So I would put, since you're going to have a lower armor class, I would put the 15 in con. Mm-hmm. So that your next bump is going to be able to get that up. So you do a 14 strength, 13 dex, 15 con.
Or do you go the other way for more survivability at low levels? The 14 dex. When you rage, you're gonna get bonus damage.
That's true.
I like the 14 dex simply because, you rage, you get extra. You're gonna get that extra strength, and you can wear medium armor, and you get your +2 dex. So you pretty much like max that out.
All right, so you go 13 strength, 14 dex, 15 con, and then at 4th level you can put the +1 in the strength and con.
Because you're gonna get medium armor, right? Mm-hmm. What do you get as a barbarian for equipment? Do you actually
weapons?
You don't get any armor,
don't get
right?
any armor.
So this build we actually have to buy our armor.
So you get a great axe or any martial weapon, 2 hand axes or any simple weapon, an explorer's pack, and 4 javelins.
That kind of hurts a little bit because that means you're gonna have to roll your gold. If you want, because you really need that shield and you need that armor.
Yeah.
So we can get to level 2. I mean, that's just my way of thinking, right? Mm-hmm. But now I don't know how you guys out there, you're doing your Tieflings, you're going right from the book or whatever. I think we're going a little old school with our Tieflings, and we're going to say, like, your granddaddy was Asmodeus or something, like, or your great-great-grandmother was a succubus. But we're not doing with, they're their own race. They're playing your beings, and in the woodpile somewhere you got a little infernal, or you got a little abyssal,
similar to Genasi, like that kind of.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it used to be anyway. And then 4th edition, they kind of like, for the angsty goth teens out there that play D&D, they made them like their own thing. So we love you guys too. It's all good, man. We even love juggalos. But but I like the plain touched version much better. And oddly enough, like they only did it with the Tiefling, so
yeah, Azamar,
even as it was, the Genasi or as it was, and then and they elevated Drow for the same angsty teen goth fans.
All right, so barbarians are getting 2d4 times
I think
10
it was
gold.
probably more for the Drizzt fans, just saying,
Just saying.
So you're gonna max out on 80 gold.
Oh, that's their max.
So if you roll max,
2d4 times 10. So if you roll max,
Wow, that's harsh.
you can get either a chain shirt or scale mail.
Which I mean, you're gonna go scale mail.
sounds like you need to be a brigand for your first level.
Yeah, you need to rob somebody. You're gonna get a shield, so that's 60. Do we have enough to get a weapon? Is the question. Because you're gonna start with no gear.
Background noble.
Well, no, you don't get the money from your background.
You don't get the money from background if you roll it?
Nope, you don't get any equipment if you roll.
No. Well, sounds like
well, so let's see.
well, it's not like you're gonna have a terrible unarmored unarmored bonus there.
So
if you do a 14 and a 15,
look, we're gonna say we rolled really
on.
well, or we have a generous DM, right?
Mm.
And you got 80 gold because it is totally crap, right?
So
that gives you a battle axe, a shield, scale mail armor, and 10 gold pieces to buy anything you want.
All right. No torches, no rations, no water skin.
Thank God you got dark vision. Well, no, you got 10 gold pieces to buy whatever you want after you buy a weapon and your armor and shield. Oh yeah, you can't buy it. Oh, you can buy an explorer's pack.
You seriously don't get your gold from your background if you roll your gold for the
No,
class?
they totally screw you if you roll your gold. Uthengard knows the pain because he had to buy a spell book
and armor.
That hurts a lot. That's like 100 gold for just those two things.
Yeah, I think I think you negotiated to get extra gold so you could actually afford stuff.
No, I said no. I negotiated to have a rod instead of other arcane focus because I couldn't afford a spell component pouch.
Okay.
So all right, so we get as a tiefling again, however you want to pronounce it out there. You get fire resistance, you get dark vision. Once you reach 3rd level and 5th level, you get a couple spells
that you can't use while you're raging. So it's got to be like an out of combat kind of thing.
Well, not out of combat, out of rage.
Out of rage.
Out of rage, not even range. You get common and infernal.
You start off with thaumaturgy.
Okay, well, I mean it's a cantrip, so it's a barbarian. You're not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go play around with this.
No, you absolutely will. They'd be like, you orc over there, and you're like they can hear you from like a mile away.
I think you can also set campfires. Like, boom, fire.
But it's not a combat spell. Yeah.
Well, that's probably really good.
Not the way you use it.
You should be raging.
So
actually, thaumaturgy is really good for putting out fires that may have been inadvertently started in an inn or something.
We wouldn't know anything about that.
So I mean, you get enough guys with thaumaturgy, they might put out a fire.
They replace the bucket brigade.
Yeah, they're like a bucket brigade. Wait, well, I mean, All
right, so then we move into barbarian, and your first couple levels they're set, but what path are we looking to go with this Tiefling Barbarian?
Well, I know the fan favorite is
Path of the Totem.
Path of the Totem, because everyone wants that resistance to everything but psychic.
Right. I think the wolves are pretty cool, especially if you're thinking you're gonna be in a group of people that are gonna be melee fighters. Yeah. It's like that'd be a good combo with a paladin.
Yeah, if you're gonna go with a Tiefling Barbarian, you really don't want to be the only tanky type character in the party, or there's gonna be a little bit of a deficiency. Look, it'd be a fun character to play because let's face it, you're born into a tribe. So what we're saying is basically, if you're a Tiefling, you're really just a human that has demonic blood. So there could be all kinds of RP stuff going on with that. I mean, first of all, Outlander Exile screams, look at me, because of because of that. But you don't have to be. What if, what if instead it was seen as a good omen for your tribe, because maybe you do have maybe the tribe is darker, so like you're the chosen, and because like a lot of your monstrous humanoids, that barbarian tribe is really savage and primitive. But then then you could be kind of playing against type, because you're like, well, no, I'm not really like that at all. I'm peace pop microdot. I'm a hippie barbarian Tiefling guy, So I don't even know where I started with that, where I was going. But no, from the role playing stance.
Oh yeah.
I think it's thematic and it's cool. And then we were talking about, the different paths you can go, the frenzied berserker or the totem. And Nate just pointed out a serious flaw in the frenzied berserker, which is the one that I like, is the fact that if you actually use the cool part of it, it could kill you.
Yeah. Yeah. Gaining a level of exhaustion every time you use frenzy.
Yeah. I didn't realize it sucks so bad to try and get rid of that exhaustion.
You can either sleep it off with 8 hours and some food. You get rid of 1 level of exhaustion, or you've got to get a 5th level spell cast on you.
So basically, if you wind up going into frenzy twice a day because you get 2 rages, every day you're just going to essentially accrue another level of exhaustion.
Yeah, you can't do it.
You can't keep doing it. So
yeah. So
you can, but it'll kill you eventually.
It'll eventually
6
kill
days.
You.
Yeah, 6
and
days.
It won't be very exciting. You'll kind of be a lame duck for half of those days.
Yeah.
Well, it's disadvantage on ability checks your first day.
Not so bad.
Then speed halved.
All right.
That's kind of sucks. Then your 3rd level, disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws.
No point in raging now.
Reckless attack.
Yeah.
Now hit point maximum.
Well, that's true. You already got it anyway. What's the difference?
So now you got a regular attack.
So then we move on to level 4. Hit point maximum reduced halved.
Oh.
So
Very, very killable barbarian.
Yeah.
Then we move up to level 5. Speed reduced to 0. So
Yeah.
you're not going anywhere at that point in time.
I'm the rock. I am the anchor. I am the rock.
Carry me towards these things. I'll swing my axe.
Frenzy! And then you die.
And then you die.
Because level 6 is just death.
It'll be like, Claire, cast that spell on me before I'm done frenzying, or I'm gonna die.
But all of that being said, the path of the berserker, that's the barbarian build that does let you get 4 attacks around.
Yeah. So when you really need it, to retaliate.
Essentially, you can use that ability once a day safely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because negative on ability checks. I mean, disadvantage on ability checks isn't that bad.
Kind of stinks, but let's face it, you're a barbarian, so what are you really going to do anyway? Athletics, well, when you're raging, you have advantage on those.
Yeah.
So it's like, either way. But yeah, so once a day. But you guys or I know Nate likes the you were talking about the wolf.
Yeah, I'm thinking the wolf pack tactic style kind of fighting would be better for the tiefling.
Well, the thing that I actually like about the path of the totem is you don't have to pick a single totem
you
and
could
follow
pick
it.
something
No, you
else
jump
later.
around.
You can jump around. So I mean, the bear is really, really good. But it's going to overlap the tiefling's fire resistance, so that's not going to add as much advantage. But I mean, it's only
one
bit.
resistance. You get 5. You get a ton of resistances.
But if you're doing a party that has a bunch of melee fighters, giving everyone else advantage is amazing. It doesn't give you anything, but
it helps the rest.
The rest of the party. And if you're worried about your character's survivability because of a low armor class or low hit points, because you don't have
having everybody else hit it and beat it up real quick,
make everybody else a threat.
It's gonna increase the chances of somebody else critting. It's gonna increase the chances of everyone else just outright hitting. So that one is really good.
And you combine that with reckless attack, that means everybody in melee on your side gets advantage.
So there's definitely a definitely a way to go there. For
6th level, I don't know what I would take.
I'm always prone to go to the eyes of the eagle, the eyesight of the eagle,
Brave Star.
I just I really like that magic item in 3rd edition. So having it's oh yeah, I can see a mile away. It's holy crap, you can see a mile. That's really,
it's got really sharp eyes.
That's really cool.
Does it do anything else?
You can see a mile away with no difficulty, able to discern even fine details as though looking at something no more than 100 feet away. Additionally, dim light doesn't impose disadvantage on your wisdom perception checks.
Oh, that's really good for someone who already has dark vision. Because, incomplete
40. Because it's 60 feet. So
well, yeah, in complete darkness, don't you have?
It's as if you're in dim light, which would give you disadvantage on wisdom perception checks. If you have eyes of the eagle, you don't have that problem. So it basically negates the downside of dark vision. For that particular character, and up to 60 feet away, he can see in the dark as good as anyone else can see in the light. It's not devil sight, but it's good.
Yeah. So when he casts magical darkness, he's still in the dark.
Yes.
So, yeah, I just
I think that might be good. That would be good.
I like it for this character. It's just thematic. Yeah. It plays upon a strength that's already there.
But you can take that any which way. So are we settling on Path of the Totem for this guy, or are we?
Yeah, I think so. Anybody can be a berserker. You just get to hit things more times.
All right, so
pretty much.
So we've gone Path of the Totem. We are, a Tiefling Barbarian. Where did he start? What's his background, or her, as the case may be?
That's a good question.
So you were talking Outlander is definitely a possibility. I look at that one as almost my my go-to for actually any nature character. Could totally do Hermit. Medicine and religion are not a super uber barbarian thing, but if you're kind of an outcast because you're a tiefling, that would totally be a usable thing. And then you've got medicine, so when somebody else has fallen, you can definitely work it. Definitely go with sailor or soldier.
Yeah, I feel like sailor is also a good one too, especially for barbarians, especially if it's more like if you're more like going like the Viking type character.
So we think this is kind of dependent upon the campaign that's being done, or the campaign world.
Yeah,
because if you don't really have access to, hey, where's the nearest port? Oh well, it's 400 miles away. Well, why the flip am I all the way over here?
Why am I a sailor? Son of a monkey's uncle. What do sailors get? They get perception and
athletics and perception.
Yeah, is a really good combination.
Soldier is going to get you athletics and intimidation. Also a good combination for barbarian.
Perhaps you're a runaway pirate.
You
decided to go inland and change your pirating ways.
Or maybe someone else made the decision for you.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you were a pirate captain and there was a mutiny. So you're kind of staying away from the seas until you can build up a new crew.
So do we want to go with sailor? Or do we want?
So
I think sailor, soldier, or outlander are. So either way, you're getting athletics. So is it survival, perception, or intimidation as your secondary?
Well, again, it depends too. Like, what kind of barbarian are you? Like, are you the nature kind of barbarian, or are you the warmongering barbarian? Like, I think it really depends. It really depends on what kind of tribe you come from, and what kind of circumstances are surrounding your birth.
Did you get kicked out?
Yeah, was it cool that you're a tiefling? Was the tribe like, oh my god, this is a great omen, or is this a dark omen, and actually they tried to murder you as soon as you were born, but for whatever reason you didn't die?
Maybe you're a knight in the sense of you have what's that called? Like, not blood brothers, but basically people that, because you're important enough, or you have you're a good omen basically for the tribe, that there's actually people in the tribe that stake their life on making sure you're safe. So that's what those variant people are. But then they wouldn't be able to be in combat because they're like weak hireling kind of people. So that wouldn't work out. I was kind of hoping. It
was a good idea.
Blood brother kind of.
Well, you could do the Sworn Brothers.
Yeah, the Sworn Brothers.
They're like the Sworn Brothers, but they don't do anything for you. But they so would if there wasn't a rule against it.
I will lay down my life for you if the DM were to ever allow me into combat.
Yeah. Oh no, you're allowed into combat. You can be killed. You just can't do anything useful. You can have an arrow deflect off the warrior's chest and go through your throat. Because we can't have you actually suck up an extra attack.
Yeah, so that's kind of, that would have been cool if you could have had sworn brothers or something.
Well, you could do it. It's just, it's going to be more of a role-playing thing
Yeah.
than anything. Yeah, like the Nerdarchy.
Maybe it would be like there'd be somebody who's going to take down your tail. So that could be one of the people that's going to basically like
a scald.
Like a scald.
But they like their tails.
Boo, Ted.
Come on, you had to see that one.
No. I had to say this wouldn't make any funny sense. So you've got somebody that's going to take down your tails. You've got somebody who maybe cleans your weapons for you or whatever, and then you've got somebody who
brushes your horse once you get one.
Yeah,
but you couldn't get one because you're so broke.
Because you're so broke because you bought that armor. Yeah, so you could have kind of the tribe knows that you're going to be awesome, and so they've sent these people with you.
Yeah, you could definitely do something like that. So I like the
not the traditional knight variant, but that same kind of
the dirty version.
To it. Yeah.
Not dirty that way, guys.
We're gonna be going. Yeah. Not like other types of companions, but this kind of we know you're going to be awesome. You're like a chosen of the tribe, and you're going to go.
So take these fleet-ridden guys to hang out.
Take these guys with you. Make them useful.
Because they're just sucking up space here.
Yeah, because I totally dip it into my deer rations.
Yeah, you can so be like, carry my stuff, except for you don't have any stuff because you couldn't afford it. Someone hold my battle axe and hand it to me when I need it.
Oh, I need to climb this. Hand me my rope, please. Since that was the only thing I could afford.
I'll be your torchbearer, sir. As soon as we get a torch.
Yes. Yeah. Pick up that stick. Wrap some rags around it.
Well, that's it too. Like you can see in the dark, you don't actually need a torch, but now you need torches for your guys that are with you because they can't see in the dark.
Oh, that's awesome.
So there you go, Tiefling Barbarians. What do you think? So I think we can have fun with it. And again, I think most of it is figuring out what did the Tiefling's birth mean.
Yeah, that would be the start of what,
and then that would kind of determine
background.
Yeah, like if it was a bad thing, you're pretty much an outlander. Mm-hmm. You're just gonna go out, exile, outcast, and you're gonna go with that. If you go the other way, then you have a bunch of options. Or not that you don't have other options anyway, because as an outcast, really, you could go with almost anything. You could at that point you can take almost any of the other backgrounds and be like, well, although I was born to a barbarian tribe, I was raised somewhere else because they threw me out.
You could be an acolyte.
Or you could even play with it, like, because the way we do Tieflings in our world is, maybe your heritage didn't come on to you until like puberty or something. Like a mutant. You develop your Tiefling powers once you hit puberty.
And if we're doing it by the book, then that opens you up to different backgrounds, and you basically it's just like figure out what kind of story you want to tell from your character's perspective.
Yeah. If you go from the book, it doesn't actually matter because you're all fugly. And you have horns and red skin and stuff, and look all kinds of evil. Then of course, then you have then I would think it would be a whole tribe of Tieflings. Where instead of like a shaman, maybe they have like a warlock for their like witch doctor or whatever, and then then it just completely opens everything up. How do you want to go with this? What do you want to do with it? So what do we got? We got Tiefling, we got Barbarian, Path of the Totem. We got, probably fighting battle axe and shield. I mean, there's other weapons. You can use spear or whatever.
Right.
We're going to, dump our intelligence, put our next lowest stat into charisma.
We wind up with a 13 strength, 14 dex, 15 con, 9 intelligence, 12 wisdom, 12 charisma.
So, I mean, all in all, it's not bad stats.
No.
I kind of, that's one of the things I do like about when we do these like unoptimized build is, you don't end up with all these dump stats. You're pretty much you
don't take the 315s.
Yeah, like sometimes when you start playing the stats, it gets kind of weird looking on paper.
Yeah,
and just like, okay, so this guy's really awesome at this, and this, and the other things. He's riding a little yellow bus. I don't know what's the deal. So so that's kind of nice. I mean, our dump stats are intelligence, which is a 9, but it's not super low.
Mhm.
But if we do go down that road,
He's been hitting the head too many times.
and you do manage to bribe your DM into letting you get the scale mail. With that, it does give you an 18 armor class.
Oh, with the shield?
With the shield, because you get the 14 from the armor, the 2 from the shield, and the 2 from your dex.
Is it? What's the armor class? I thought it was a 15. No, it's only 14.
Yeah. So
and now, if you can only afford a shield and a battle axe, you still are going to end up with a 16 armor class to start. So I mean, it's not fantastic. Like the shield plus you got your 14 dex and your 15 constitution, right? It's going to give you a 16 armor class.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to go I'm not going to be completely poor route, you could definitely do that.
Yeah, and then just, like I said, the Brigand's Lice for me for the first.
But I think I prefer the 18 armor class. I mean, in 5th edition, armor class is like one of the most important stats, and it's one of the ones that doesn't go up that high.
Right.
No. Well, I mean, but you're also starting, this is your starting character. Just pick up armor from somebody and get it adjusted, whatever the DM requires, that's what I would think.
Right.
I'd rather pick it up as I go, snag it off somebody. Trophy.
Well,
could be your first combat trophy.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if you can go that route, but then again, you have to get armor that's good enough to even make it worthwhile. So
yeah.
So it all depends. Like yeah, if you don't have a forgiving DM and he's like, no, let me see what you roll, then you're like, you're probably going to be better off just taking
what's there.
And making do.
Mm-hmm.
And the other downside too is if you really do only have one weapon.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like if you drop your weapon in combat, get disarmed or whatever, it's going to get ugly. You're gonna have to resort to grabbing your shield with 2 hands and beating people with it. Yeah. Luckily you can rage for a little extra damage, but other than that, it's going to be a little brutal. So Tiefling Barbarian or Trifling Barbarian, as some people might have asked.
So what do you guys think? Tiefling Barbarian, good, bad? Let us know in the comments below. While you're doing that, feel free to hit like, share, subscribe.
You can check us out at nerdarchy.com.
You can also join the conversation over on Reddit.
So until next time,
stay nerdy.